Broadcasting live from the HR Media Control Room here at UstreamRadio.com. Yours truly, Diamond K, joined as always by the Jammer. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Diamond K, what's going on, man?
All right. Another exciting week of pro wrestling, as always. A little on a side note, how are the Orioles doing?
1-0 winners tonight. I'm watching the Yankees. It's 3-3. They're playing the Boston Red Sox. And that ball game's at the top of the 13th. Yankees lose. We've already won. We're tied for first with one game to go this season.
So we're finally having a good season.
Oh, yeah. We're having a great season. We're headed toward the playoffs. We just don't know where. We don't know if we're going to win the American League East. We don't know what wild card team we're going to play, what position we're going to be ranked. It's complicated. It's good stuff, though. It's pennant race baseball. You can't get no better than that.
Well, that definitely sounds like a good
years. 15 years, Diamond K.
Wow.
The Orioles have been significant. So, you live here in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean, this
definitely.
was a Ravens town until a month ago. It works out better, though, when it's two teams.
Oh, absolutely.
There's always something to do.
It's definitely good.
Normally when the Ravens play, and, they only play once a week, you just got to sit around and listen to the coaches talk about the same old thing, the same old game. But with this going on, you got something to take your mind off the Ravens until they play Kansas City this Sunday in Kansas City. I'll be watching that too, but boy, I tell you, town's gone Oriole mad, man. It's great. Great.
Definitely. It's nothing but orange and black and purple and black throughout the whole city.
I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. It's helped the revenue.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Of course,
now we can have two NASCAR races a year. What a joke that is.
347-326-9396 is the number. info@dmvwrestling.com. Send us the questions. But I want to talk a little bit about Ryback. And
yeah.
Ryback.
Goldberg?
Now here's a question though: Is Ryback the new Goldberg? Is he ready for the main event with Cena's injury? For the people that are not aware, Cena has a legit injury, and he's going to be on the shelf for probably 4 to 6 weeks with major elbow and ankle injury. And with that, they have elevated Ryback to the main event. And it appears that he's going to be getting to a program with CM Punk, or at least they're positioning him in the event that Cena is unable to come back for Ryback to move into that space. Do you think?
Do you know anything about his background, Ryback? No. I mean,
he did. He was in Florida Championship Wrestling. He did some time down there in developmental, and he was on NXT season 1, and he was a part of the original Nexus angle, but he got injured. As you know, muscle tears and these type of injuries can happen with very muscular wrestlers. So he was injured and was sidelined. That's when he was wrestling as Skip Sheffield, and then they brought him back as Ryback. Do you see any of the Goldberg phenomenon elements in Ryback at all?
Yeah, I see a lot. The brute strength, the brute strength. The quick matches, power moves. I saw him one week. He gave a back body drop to 2 wrestlers.
Right.
Things you normally don't see. His matches are normally quick, so I don't know how good he is in the ring. Normally when it's quick like that, because Goldberg wasn't really a professional wrestler in the beginning.
Right.
His matches was quick. The quicker,
exactly.
the less chance you have to make a mistake or get out there and, really cripple somebody. But, feed me more. That's his little catchphrase, and which I don't get. But, obviously they're trying to clone him after the Goldberg, with all the antics. But we'll see. I mean, the fans seem to like him. But the fans are chanting, Goldberg, Goldberg, when he's in the ring.
Definitely. You were talking about room for error with the short matches. He had a match last night, which was actually a rematch from SmackDown. He had a match against Tensai, also known as Albert, and his finishing maneuver, he attempted to get him up twice, and he was unable to lift him up for the full move, and he ended up throwing him down and just finishing him off with a clothesline. So it's just the thing about a new guy like this is you don't know how they're going to react to success, and I think that the problem that they had with Goldberg, one of many, aside from him being limited in the ring, was his attitude. And I think that he had an attitude problem. I think that he believed that he did everything himself. I don't think that he understood that the wrestlers and the promotion aided in his success, and I think that led him to have a big head. So the word around is that possibly Tensai could have been instructed by the office to kind of dead weight himself, make himself difficult to lift, not cooperate with the move, and kind of see how Ryback reacted to the adversity of not being able to do his move.
Well, I could believe that, to humble him some, give him a little, to see exactly how good you are. And obviously it kind of threw him for a loop, and but he went on with it, but it was not a clean finishing move.
No.
And I don't know, maybe the booker put that in there for that to happen like that. I wouldn't think about that, but that's a good point. But that's why you're the commissioner. But let's see. It's a little quick to put him in the main event. I would mid-card him for a while.
I was very surprised.
He's still got some work to do.
Absolutely.
Got some work to do. People are paying, $50 a pop for those pay-per-views. And this guy can't give you a long match.
No.
No. Somebody leave out of there still. So, you got to be careful. But, hey, let's see. And he's not really over because, people are chanting Goldberg, Goldberg. So he's a clone of what, Goldberg used to be. But that's something what Bill Goldberg managed to pull off, fish off in those guys. He just came out of nowhere. He had a lot to do with great ratings with WCW, that Bill Goldberg.
Just came out of nowhere, and I'm predicting that they get Goldberg out of retirement and build towards a Goldberg Ryback WrestleMania match. Would people want to see that?
I could see that.
I think people would want to see that.
Yeah, I could see that, but again, Ryback is going to have to continue to develop. And then Goldberg will probably have to redevelop. So gotta be careful with that.
It needs to be a quick match, but nobody would want to do the job.
Right, exactly.
Nobody would want to do the job. CM Punk, he's been a full-fledged heel now. He's no tweener. He's definitely a heel, with Paul Heyman acting as the advisor, the manager. How well do you think this heel turn for CM Punk is going?
Well, every week here on the Pro Wrestling Show, I always talk about how much of a fan I am of the old. That was a strike, by the way. How much a fan I am of the old school stuff, and that's kind of the old school. You got the manager, Heyman, who's very good on the mic, and you got CM Punk, who, like you said, is cut and dry, is a heel. And it's quite interesting. He's getting some heat. He's probably going to have to do some more things. He really haven't done anything but talk. if you think about it.
Yeah, definitely.
He's really going to have to, win a couple of matches, illegally, do some, Heyman maybe interfere or hand him something, or, he hasn't done anything physically in the ring to be a heel, but he's talking. His mic work is definitely one of a heel. So we'll see. That too has to develop, but you got Heyman there, who's great, and CM Punk, who's wonderful. So again, it's got to develop. They're trying to make it happen, I think, a little too fast. I think they actually have to have something controversial happen in a CM Punk match to get him really over as a heel. I mean, so again, let's see what they have in store down the line as we go toward Hell in a Cell.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's when it's going to happen, when he takes on Cena, who they say should be back. You said Cena will not be back for Hell in a Cell.
Well,
right?
they want him to come back, and I'm predicting that he'll be back in some capacity. He's always been one to come back from injuries and come back relatively quickly. This one, though, I think that Cena should probably, WWE rather, needs to really start preparing and thinking about what they're going to do when Cena goes. And eventually, Cena's going to he's going to retire either by force or by choice. And they need to have that next guy lined up.
Yeah, because they really don't have anybody in the can waiting. I mean, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin to kind of take over for when Hogan went away, and
right.
So I don't know anybody in line yet that could pull it off. So we'll. I mean, I can't think of anybody right now.
They don't have anyone. I mean, The Miz could possibly be a good face. I think that Dolph Ziggler is maybe a year away from being able to be turned. Sheamus is kind of stale to me. I'm just not.
I think he's reached his peak. The Great White.
Yeah.
I think the Great White. I don't know what they mean by that, but
either.
Perhaps we could be the Great Black, but I think not Goldberg, but Sheamus has kind of reached his peak. As so far as what he's going to be. So yeah, they got to find. And I don't. Oh Lord, did the Yankees just win this ball game? They most certainly did. There you go. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know who they're developing. Maybe Vince will come up with somebody, or, maybe they have something in the can. But right now, they have nobody that you're going to tune into every week for the, the ending, the main event guy. If something should happen to Cena, and I'm not really a big Cena guy. But obviously he's over, But
Cena's definitely over.
Yeah, he's definitely over, but do you go to the arena because Cena's in town? I don't know.
Let me say this. I really have gained a newfound respect for Cena. He is underrated, and Cena he's underrated, I think, as a performer, as an in-ring performer, and on the mic, I think he's underrated.
I don't like his mic work at all.
He does some corny stuff, but if you really look at his body of work and the work that he's done, I would say since his battles with The Rock, after that, he's really stepped his game up tremendously.
Right.
Yeah, he really has.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and he's putting asses in the seats and he's getting ratings. But he's no Stone Cold, and he's no Hogan.
No,
and he couldn't. He's not even. Don't even talk about him with the Ric Flair comparison. He's just, I don't know. I never really got it, but I just don't know
the whole Cena thing.
No, I never really got it. I never really got the Edge thing. I remember when Edge was a ham and egger.
I thought Edge was overrated.
Yeah,
whereas Cena is underrated, I think. But Edge, I think, is overrated.
I remember when he was a ham and egger, a mat roller, down there in the NWA days, when they would do the shows when Crockett had the NWA, and they would do the TV tapings in Atlanta at the TV studio. I remember when Edge was getting the ring and was what you call a mat roller. And so maybe that's why, and I don't really like the tall, slender type of wrestler. I prefer not like Vince liked the big Andre the Giants and the Big Show type guys. But, I thought Stone Cold was kind of the perfect wrestler. He could really do some things. He was a good size. He was power, and he could also wrestle.
Absolutely.
Hogan was one-dimensional. Andre the Giant was horrible in the ring. He was just more of a sideshow. But Stone Cold was the total package. God, there you go. Speaking of total package, probably the biggest disappointment in wrestling is Lex Luger.
I think you're right. That was probably the biggest disappointment. I don't know what made them think that he was going to be able to take Hogan's place.
Yeah, if it wasn't for roids, he'd have no career. How about that? But just speaking of the total package, and what I thought Stone Cold and somebody like The Rock, those guys were the total package of the New Age wrestling. As so far as agility, to give you power, and also to do some mat work, get down there and apply holes, and, really, and Ric Flair, of course, probably the best of all of them in my lifetime. But Flair wasn't that big, Flair was a small champion.
Right.
And Flair didn't do much power wrestling. He wasn't a power wrestler.
He was a wrestler. He was style. He was style, all style.
Yep.
The real quick, let's take a email question. Let's pull this up. Of course, info at dmvwrestling.com. Bobby wants to know our all-time favorite wrestler, dead or alive. That's interesting. All-time favorite wrestler. I mean, the best wrestler, I would have to say, the best and my favorite is the same person. Ric Flair definitely would go down to me as the best, the best wrestler.
There was nothing like anticipating a Ric Flair championship match. It was just, and Bruno Sammartino was the same way. There was nothing like waiting for Bruno, or Superstar Billy Graham was a good one.
Oh, yeah.
But you know definitely. Who I really liked in the ring?
Who's that?
Chief J. Strongbow.
Chief J. Strongbow. Definitely, he a legendary figure. From what I've heard about him behind the scenes, they said that he wasn't actually the nicest person in the world. But in the ring, he was definitely over. And he was not. He was not Native American, was he?
No, I believe he was from Philadelphia.
Oh wow!
He just happened to have a big nose, and that got him over.
Yeah, that could do that.
Yeah. He looked very much like a Native American, but he might have been mixed with something. But no, I think I think they said he was from I don't know where the city's from Oklahoma.
Oh, somewhere in the Midwest.
Once you think of some kind of tribe somewhere in the Midwest, but in all actuality, he was from Philadelphia. And but I just thought he was entertaining. He was a good wrestler, and he always. I remember a couple of matches between Strongbow and Mr. Fuji, the devious one, Mr. Fuji. They were pretty good, man. They were pretty good. But I guess my favorite wrestler, how can you not say Ric Flair? But for entertainment-wise, I used to love, Strongbow matches, Jay Strongbow. Greg Valentine was a good performer. He was a good wrestler. Very strange, though. Very strange wrestler. but he was very good. He would always break somebody's leg or something if you with that figure 4 leg drop. So all of those guys.
Oh yeah.
Longbows, the Valentine, of course the magnificent Don Morocco from Sunset Beach, Hawaii. Got to put him on that list in the top 5 of, enjoying his matches. Morocco would put on some great matches.
Absolutely. Big fan of Morocco.
Yeah, the magnificent Morocco from Sunset Beach, Hawaii. And he actually was from Hawaii. But, those guys will be on my list of some of the big ones. My personal favorites. But of course we're leaving out the one that they said save wrestling, and that's the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I mean he's in my top 5, but he's not the best wrestler.
Not mine.
He's definitely he's in my top 5. He's like number 5.
I don't even know if Hogan make my top 15.
You're judging him on his wrestling.
Yeah, and just as I don't know, he was more entertainment.
Yeah,
he was more entertainment. That's what I thought of Hogan. He was 90% entertainment and 10% worth watching. In my opinion.
Another email
what do I know?
from Seth. He says, with WWE's low rating of last night's Raw, do you think that the NFL is going to spell the end of WWE? And to be clear, the rating of the last night's episode of Raw was a year low, 2.5 for all 3 hours, and that marks a new low. The lowest rating prior to that was a 2.6 for this year. Now the lowest rating before that was a whole year ago, 4th of July. They got a 2.4. Now last night's show had about 3.5 million viewers, which by no stretch is a small amount of people.
No.
But they average a lot higher than that. During football season, it's rough because, if you have a good football game on, then, you got baseball on, you got all these different choices that people can turn to. It's going to bring that wrestling score down.
I would agree. And, you got to say not only the NFL, but you got pennant races all over the country now with this extra wild card game in Major League Baseball. There's more cities with something at stake. So I know me personally, wrestling was third on my viewing thing last night because I had, of course, my Oriole game, and then I was peeking at the NFL, and then I would peek at wrestling.
Right.
So, and then right now you got Linda McMahon, who's a Republican, who's running for office. So it's really, really family friendly right now.
Right, and that hurts it too.
Yeah, that hurts. It's really clean cut right now. No Randy Orton. I don't know where he's at. I don't know if he's coming back from an injury or whatever. I didn't see him last night.
Well, he's working on the movie. He's getting ready to work on a movie.
Right. You don't have your Triple H. You don't have no cutting edge. You don't have no attitude right now.
Yeah.
WWE. You don't have anything. You don't have any other choices. I try to tolerate TNA. I get it. I guess they do okay, but that does nothing for me either. So
evidently doesn't do a lot for a lot.
Pro wrestling's at a point where they might have to reinvent the wheel, get a little more rugged. Even TNA has softened up. With some of their antics. So it's just at a crucial point right now, and we'll see. It's always but it's like anything. It has its high moments and it has its low moments. And you best believe, seem like every time WrestleMania comes around, it's peaking. So,
definitely.
So this is just a low period probably for it right now until they develop some more storylines and get some more guys in here. get some, and then they, like I said, you better call your mama. What's that guy's name?
Brodus Clay.
Yeah, they're wasting him, with that silly gimmick. What a waste.
I agree.
A waste.
I agree. That's a total waste.
Turn him loose. Yeah, you got to
be a monster. Monster.
Yeah.
But I think that they're going to go there. I think they're going to go there with him after this gimmick runs its course.
Yeah. Take that silly stuff off, all that glitter and stuff, and the disco ball. Blow that up, and let that guy be a grappler, and get a little more hardcore with it, and the Daniel Bryan and the Kane thing. It's just it's heavy entertainment now. Those guys, none of those guys are ever going to win an award or an Oscar for acting.
Yeah, but no.
So it's not going to happen. Nominated or nothing, so they got to be careful with that.
I think that the philosophy is going for the younger crowd, especially right now when you have a lot of sports fans into a lot of different sports. Mm-hmm. They're trying to go for that younger demographic and try to hold on to them. And I think that they fluctuate with the storylines based on who they're trying to grab and who they think is available for them to grab.
What's the girl that runs out and she skips AJ?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm like, well.
You weren't a fan of her at all.
Nah. And I guess that's because maybe you just said they're going for a younger demo. So that lets me out. But
well, speaking of out, Kelly, after 6 years, the WWE has released Kelly.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, she wanted out, and it was time for her to renew. She didn't want to renew, so they came to terms on that. She's dating a hockey player, and she also wants to pursue some movies and some other WWE less things, some movies that are not WWE, and she wants to take a different course. I think after 6 years, she's probably peaked out of what they're going to do with her with the Divas. They got to kind of keep rotating them in and out.
Yeah, they really do. The Glamazon, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
Beth Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a pretty good female wrestler, but, they got to revamp that. They got to get some more rugged storylines, take some of that entertainment out of it, and really just put it back in the ring. Put it back in the ring. That's why it's there. Put the action back in the ring. And I mean, hey, when push comes to shove, that's what they'll probably wind up doing. It's easy to fix, but they see how far they can go. You know what I mean? With this entertainment thing. You can obviously see that Vince has got some Hollywood writers involved. You can see that a mile away. I think they got some actors. These lawyers, that guy that AJ was talking to, and, I don't know where they're going with that. It's, you got to keep in mind, if you're calling yourself sports entertainment and you're only entertaining, people are going to option out for sports.
That's true. Why go for that when you get the real thing?
Right. Yeah, I'm more of a sports fan than I am a movie fan. So it's become, I love it. Grew up loving pro wrestling. I get it. But they got to be careful with their product, but we'll see. But, and how young do they want to go? I mean, 5 and 6 year olds?
Yeah,
so,
what's the future in that?
Yeah,
what's the future in that? Of course,
right.
Each and every Tuesday night, 11 p.m. We are right here, and I guess that's going to do it for this week. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, my friend. I'm just hoping one week we can kind of focus on wrestling announcers. Talk about some of the great. Talk about some of the great announcers.
We need to do that next week.
All right, let's do it.
Wrestling announcers next week. All right.
Okay, Diamond J. Talk to you, man.
All right.
Adios.